Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Capital City Sports Network, where this afternoon from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, the American Collegiate Hockey Association and the Southeastern Collegiate Hockey Conference are proud to present the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Wake Forest Deacons. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here. The second game of a back-to-back road trip. My name is Dillon Clark. So glad you could be here with us. The Gamecocks looking for a bit of a bounce-back win, if you can call it that. Tough to call it an attempt to bounce back. The Gamecocks tied the Hokies of Virginia Tech last night, 4-4. If you could not catch that game, we'll bring you up to speed. The Gamecocks at one point were up 3-1 at the end of the first period. Virginia Tech came back, made it 3-2 at the end of the second, and then Noah Maddie looked to put the game away with his first goal, an empty net goal, to make it 4-2. But then Brendan Hoey and the Virginia Tech captain Mason Wildgrub came back and tied the game with 9 seconds left in it. And after an eventful overtime, no one could find the back of the net, so the Gamecocks find themselves with their first tie of the season. They are now 10-1-1 in this 2019-2020 campaign. Their opponents, Wake Forest, the Deacons, are 8-1-1. They are coming off a loss 5-1 against NC State, former home of Gamecock assistant coach John Copelandberg. So the Gamecocks look to get back in the win column. They turn their attention to Trip Russell tonight, or this afternoon rather, 5-1-0 on the season, an .891 save percentage, 3.48 goals against average. He looks to lower some of those numbers and cement himself as kind of a go-to guy between the pipes for South Carolina. A short bench for the Deacons, only 10 skaters. They're missing more than half their lineup. It is Mountain Weekend for Wake Forest, so a considerable amount of their players away in the hills of Tennessee for that with their fraternities. So head coach of the Deacons, Dave Pascal, has his work cut out for him here with a short bench. Coach Pascal has a prior relationship with head coach Alan Sirois, so it's always nice to come back and see an old friend. But again, no friends out there once the puck drops. Some other notable things to watch before we send you to a break as the Gamecocks and Deacons finish up warm-ups here. Julian Reese went down in a bit of an awkward collision towards the end of last night's game. He came up limping. He finished the game, but he was in some discomfort after the game. He looks to be in the lineup tonight, so we'll keep an eye on him. He looks to be moving around okay in warm-ups, but we'll keep tabs on the freshman from Manhattan. Gamecock leading goal scorer, 17 goals, 7 assists, 24 points in 12 games played this season. So we'll keep an eye on him as things progress. We'll send you to a break, and when we come back, it'll be the first period here from Winston-Salem on the Capital City Sports Network, all presented by SGTV. Welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. The anthem has been sung. The starting lineups announced. We are just moments away from puck drop here. Wake Forest and South Carolina. The Gamecocks facing the Deacons for the one and only time this season. As we said in the pregame show, between the pipes for South Carolina, Trip Russell, 5-1-0 and 891 save percentage, 3.48 goals against average. Across from him, Jack Nemekis, 2 wins, 943 save percentage, 1.05 goals against average. A shutout to his credit. And the Gamecocks go with, on the back end, it'll be Tyler Oakley paired with Duncan Hickman. Cam Mecca on the left side, Owen Thomas on the right, centered by Ronan Egan. For Wake Forest, Blake Mueller, Andrew Adams, Matt Solvaletti, Michael Kenny, Reed Anderson, the 5 to round out this first face-off here. Gamecocks in their traveling garnet uniforms with the descending Carolina script. Wake Forest, their home, is more of a Vegas gold. They've got some black striping around the torso, black numbers, black pants. And we are underway. Gamecocks move right to left to start this first period. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So glad you could be with us here from Winston-Salem. The puck ricochets into the South Carolina zone, played there by Tyler Oakley. He's going to have to swing this one away from Michael Kenny. Played into the far side corner, now into the near side, where it can be played there by law student Duncan Hickman. Hickman, native of Salt Lake City, plays this one over to Tyler Oakley. The Gamecocks have some trouble getting this one out. Finally, they do. Picked up by Owen Thomas, escorted on and across for Cam Mecca down the far side. In behind the goal, Mecca swings out, tries to jam play, loose puck on the backhand. Owen Thomas tries to follow that one. He can't tuck it home. In behind the goal, it's Thomas again on his backhand, spins off the goal line. At the hash marks, he'll play it back down low for his center, Ronan Egan. Plays that one off the boards now, picked up by Cam Mecca, near side towards the face-off circle. Shimmies off a check there. Puck intercepted by Andrew Adams for Wake Forest. He plays this one on for Michael Kenny into the Gamecock zone, and they go for a line change. First minute in the books here. We have no score from Winston-Salem. Gamecocks trying to play a loose puck away from some unfriendly sweaters there. On the ice now, Julian Reese. Again, we said in the pregame show, keep an eye on him. He seems to be moving okay so far early in this game. There was some skepticism between some of the Gamecock coaching staff as to whether or not Reese should play. He's in the lineup. He's on the ice. Seems to be doing all right. The puck bounces in front of the Wake Forest net. It's knocked away. Now played there. Solid move by Matt Kirkwood to play that puck away from Luke Rudman, but Rudman recovers it. He's going to receive a solid shoulder check, and then 3 Deacons pin him to the boards right in front of the penalty box. Julian Reese picks that loose puck up, sends it on across for Nick Peters, playing his second game at wing. He scored a goal last night against Virginia Tech. It was the first Gamecocks goal. It was a pretty nice one, too. Now the puck in behind the Wake Forest net. Rudman staple guns his man Henry Hu into the boards there, native of Beijing. And back out the other way, having some trouble with this one. Matt Kirkwood out off the boards, chipped there again, picked up by Rudman. A long shift here for the gray line of South Carolina. Finally, they get off for a line change. Rob Lawrence comes on, chases a man in behind the Wake Forest net with the forechecking. Demons get this one out as far as center. Bumped off the puck there by Corey Hawkinson, and Evan Hoey content to just throw this one back into Deacon territory. They'll play this one off the dasher. Hawkinson in deep on the forecheck. He does a flyby. He'll go right back over Dan Herdick. And playing this one up down the right wing is Andrew Adams. Into the Gamecock zone on his forehand here. Sends this one on back. They're going to be taken by Reed Anderson. It goes in behind the South Carolina net behind Trip Russell. Corey Hawkinson back to get it. He's got a couple of Wake Forest players to contend with there. Centering pass goes wide, past the stick of Noah Maddie as well, so Wake Forest recontrols. A turning shot ends up hitting the boards in behind Russell's net. Off the mark there, in behind to play it now, Ryan McGowan. Plays it onto the far side corner, taken by Evan Hoey. And a zone exit pass goes off a few skates. Icing waved off. It'll drift all the way back down in behind the goal of Jack Nemekis. So a full-on unit change here for South Carolina. 16:49 to go, the first period, a scoreless hockey game here from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. This puck played in by Duncan Hickman. Again, once more, behind that Wake Forest net. So they'll pick this one up. Again, 10 skaters for Wake Forest this afternoon, a short bench. And it sometimes doesn't show the signs early in the first period, but it might in the third. Now a shot by Michael Peak is easily gobbled up and saved there by Jack Nemekis, his first shot of the game. And so 16-20, a whistle and a face-off here. It will come in that left wing face-off circle. By about this time in last night's game, Hathaway had scored for Virginia Tech. The Gamecocks trailed 1-0. Only the second or perhaps the third time that the Gamecocks did not score the first goal in a hockey game. First time in a handful of games the Gamecocks were limited to just 4 goals. The game before last night, they put up 12 against App State, 5 against Clemson. Before that, 11 against Tennessee. Gamecocks averaging around 8 goals per game. Before last night, that is. So as this puck played back in, Wake Forest controls a hit there by Colin Burke, separates man from puck. They get back onto it, though, played out at center ice by Avery Pruden. Important note here, Avery Pruden's mother in attendance, his nana as well. She traveled all the way down 8 hours to get here and see her grandson play. And Pruden's got the puck. He's going to send one on net there. A save made by the Wake Forest goaltender. The rebound picked up by Ronan Egan on the far side. Point shot by Burke. Kick save there. And the rebound just pops over the stick of Cam Mecca on the near side, taken into the boards there. Henry Hu gives him a rough ride, and at the point, it's Pruden once more. Long shot ends up hitting the boards in behind Nemekis. It rolls out to the far side past Colin Burke. Held into the line, though, by Egan. A long shot there. Another save by Nemekis. And now it's sent all the way back out. Icing will be called here. 15:08 to go. First period, a scoreless hockey game. So some end-to-end action here. The game plan against a short bench for any team is just wear them down early. A physical game. It was really the most physical game that we've seen so far for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was bringing it to the Gamecocks early and bringing it often. Not usually a game that the Gamecocks are used to. They don't have to grind out for too many wins. They've got the speed. They've got the skill. But the Gamecocks had to do more grinding last night than they may have been used to. And perhaps it showed on the scoreboard. 4-4. That game ended in a tie. Now back at the point. A shot there. Redirected. A big save by the goaltender. A couple of bodies collide in front. The rebound pops straight up in the air. And we have a stoppage in play, perhaps for a hand pass. 14:52 to go. Still scoreless. Cam Mecca buzzing in around the Wake Forest net. Looking for some tap-in rebounds. He got his first goal in his first game back. Brings him to 9 on the season. After a beautiful tally last night, he batted it out of midair in behind the Virginia Tech netminder. So an offensive zone draw here. One back by the Gamecocks. Mecca takes a shot. It ricochets in off a leg. Rebound picked up. And the Deacons throw this one out. Glove down to the blue line by Parker West. He walks into the slot. Sends one there just wide past the glove hand of the Wake Forest goaltender. Top of the circles, far side. Ronan Egan down low for Owen Thomas. Shakes off a man. Sends it underneath for Cam Mecca. Mecca back on now for Thomas. A little give and go there. Tries to give it back to Mecca. Follow-up chance there. McGowan sends that one. Kicked out by the left pad of Nemekis. Underneath it comes again. Owen Thomas, under 14.5 to go. Loose in the slot there. The Gamecocks battle for it. Mecca, a turning shot there. Nemekis got the pad on that one as well. Behind the Wake Forest net, the Gamecocks battle for it. Down to the ice goes Mecca. Egan with the puck now. Centers one for Owen Thomas. It comes instead to Parker West. Sends that one through the slot. Ends up in the near side corner where it's taken there by Ronan Egan. Battled off that puck. Henry Hu sends this one all the way down. And we will have an icing. So 13:59 to go here in period number 1. Nick Peters steps in to take this draw for South Carolina, left wing faceoff circle. Peters not typically listed at center. He only started playing forward less than 24 hours ago. So under the net off the faceoff, here comes Luke Rudman out on his backhand, sends it back down low for Peters, his quasi center. Now back at the point, that rolling puck thrown back down by Tyler Oakley. That'll send Julian Reese in after it. Reese seems to have the legs under him so far in this one, though still early in this hockey game, only his second or third shift. Now the loose puck drifts on back, where it can be taken by Tyler Oakley. Quick line change here for Wake Forest. That'll give the Gamecocks some time to send it back the other way. Julian Reese now has a step, top of the circles, lets one go. Solid defensive play by Blake Mueller to get a stick on that one. So the Reese shot goes high and wide, and the puck drifting all the way back out in Gamecock territory. Duncan Hickman plays that one away dangerously there, almost to Reed Anderson, alternate captain for Wake Forest. Peters stops up in front of his own net, dishes that one on for Tyler Oakley. Now up and ahead for Luke Rudman. He's separated from the puck, but that allows Julian Reese to take it. Now down the right side, pulls up in the faceoff circle. Stick handles away from 2 men there. Blake Mueller puts him into the boards, and so the puck comes on now to Nick Peters. Past Peters, it comes back out to the point. Colin Burke takes a shot there. It goes wide. Many shot attempts here from the Gamecocks in the early going, a large number of them from the point, but it seems like most of them have gone wide here. That puck chipped past Duncan Hickman, who'll be able to recover this one, try to shuffle it back, but it comes out over the line, and a stretch pass there. And he'll try to spring Matt Solvaletti in on what would have been an odd man rush, but it comes instead past him to Colin Burke, and he'll control from the near side faceoff circle. In front of the Gamecock bench, two players joust for it. It comes free now. Swinging over to get this one is Colin Burke. The puck lofts up into the air, now loose in the slot, and the trailing man picks it up for Wake Forest. A shot save made by Russell. The rebound is loose. Russell may have made two saves there. Bit of an awkward save. Now a point shot there. They fan on that one. Winding and firing that one was, it looked like Herdick. And now it's chipped all the way back out by Corey Hawkinson. The first real opportunity for Wake Forest in this hockey game. Trip Russell makes two good saves. So out of the Wake Forest end, Noah Maddie playing forechecker right now. He's able to get control of the puck and swing it back in from behind the blue line. Wake Forest gives chase. On him will be Noah Maddie. The captain, Blake Mueller, senior out of Oakville, Ontario. The puck now comes to Avery Pruden. A point shot, glove save there. Sliding from his right to his left, Jack Nemekis. Some more pushing after the whistles. 11:35 to go, still scoreless. So another face-off here for Corey Hawkinson. We said in last night's broadcast how much he brings to this Gamecock offense. 9 games played, 7 goals and 6 assists for 13 points. He was able to rack up 6 goals and 10 assists for 16 points last season, so he approaches his total from last year. Of course, he missed some time on the tail end of that season with that hip injury. Now a stretch pass onto the far side, picked up by Noah Maddie. Races there against Michael Kenny. He'll try to steer this one away from Jack McGowan. Not to be confused with Ryan McGowan. A bit of a differentiation in spelling there. McGowan is A-N for South Carolina, E-N for Wake Forest, but not that that makes much of a difference during a radio broadcast. So the puck chipped back in. Corey Hawkinson, the lone forechecker for South Carolina. He will contend with a pair of Deacons in that corner. Perhaps a third one comes down to join him. Instead, the puck rimmed all the way around to the far side. Forechecking now, Joe Collega fresh from the bench. Collega in his third game playing wing. He's listed at 5'8", but he plays much larger than that. Joe Collega throwing a couple of hits around in his second shift of the hockey game. Michael Peake back on the ice for South Carolina. He battles for that puck in the near side corner with Jack McGowan. McGowan and Peake go down in behind the goal. Joe Collega trips over the net now in the slot. It's Hawkinson, a shot. Save made, the loose puck put there just wide by Michael Peake. Still looking for his first goal in a Gamecock uniform. This puck lofted back out past Parker West. Picked up by Joe Collega, and a hand pass will be called. Parker West making his second such grab of the hockey game. And while we are on the subject of Parker West, his grandparents and mother on hand again. Always welcome additions to the broadcast booth coming over to say hi before the game, and they pointed out the West family stretches far and wide across the continental United States. Parker West has his fans in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Arizona, California, and the great state of South Carolina. So hello to the West clan out on the West Coast, or maybe we should start calling it the West Coast. As West dishes this one out on the backhand, he spends his non-school and hockey hours actually transporting hospital patients in Anderson, South Carolina. He's a pre-med student. And as his grandmother told us, he was a bit upset about a 3.6 GPA. So tells you about the kind of student Parker West is. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Parker West sends this one back into the Wake Forest zone down to our left. He'll go for a line change with defensive counterpart Evan Hoey stepping on the ice. Blake Mueller carries it out from in behind his own net. Now turnover at the blue line there. Taken away there by Ronan Egan. Fortunately for Wake Forest, Jacob Grossman was there to negate that opportunity. Puck played all the way in behind Trip Russell's net. Duncan Hickman taken into the boards there. So the far side of the Gamecock zone features Owen Thomas. Tried to stick handle around him, and he's shut down by Michael Kenny. And they can't get the puck out. Finally, over the line, it comes on now to the far side. Cam Mecca into the offensive zone. Tries to curl around him, and he does. He gets taken down. Delayed penalty. The Deacons touch this one up. It will be a tripping minor. First of the game to Dan Herdick out of Groton, Massachusetts. And now out of the penalty box. 9:01 to go here in the first period. Still scoreless, but an opportunity here for South Carolina to get on the board early. They went 0 for 4 on the power play last night. Virginia Tech cashed in on 2 of its 4 power play opportunities. So now as Hrdich sits in the box, it's Owen Thomas on the rush here. Shot save made there, and Cam Mecca couldn't tap the rebound home. A beautiful pass off the pads of the Wake Forest goaltender. Mecca couldn't capitalize. So back down low, near side. Owen Thomas, the right-handed shot from that faceoff circle, sends one there. The loose puck, after it ricochets around in traffic, couldn't be tapped home by Ryan McGowan. So behind the goal now, it's Mecca. Spins away from a check here. 30 seconds gone on this power play, the first such power play of the night for South Carolina. Oakley, far side, McGowan tries to send one through the seam there. It bounces back for Oakley. A point shot ricocheted in front, and it goes in! A bouncing puck tapped by Jack Nemekis. It looked like as he went back to cover it, he put the puck in on himself. It looks like Tyler Oakley will be credited with that goal. So at 8:09 left in the first period, South Carolina gets on the board first. It is a power play goal. Just a seeing eye shot there. The puck had some eyes. And it finds its way in behind the Wake Forest goaltender. Owen Thomas was in front of the net whacking at that puck. He may have gotten a touch on it. If it belongs to Owen Thomas, it's his 8th goal of the season. Should it come to Tyler Oakley, it's his 3rd. And they will give it to Tyler Oakley. On the backhand now, Matt Owen sends that one for Michael Peak. Ryan McGowan gets the assist on that one. As this puck sent back in, Ronan Egan picking up the secondary assist on that one. We're calling him as we get him from the PA announcer here. So Michael Peak out of his own zone. Plays that one away there. The Gamecocks on the breakout here. Ronan Egan leading the team in assists. As this puck out now to the far side, Wake Forest picks it up, sends this one all the way back down for yet another icing. That is assist number 11 for Ronan Egan. He was in a heated battle for team lead in assists with Ryan McGowan. Well, actually, since McGowan picked up the assist, they're tied. 11 assists for both men. McGowan, he plays, I don't want to say a quiet game, but as a defenseman, that's really not a bad thing, as he sends this one on goal. Plays some sound defensive hockey. Not going to take a lot of risks, but he does a great job at zipping that puck up there, quarterbacking the rush. And as you can see, 11 assists on the season in this, his 13th hockey game. McGowan, one of only 3 players to play in every game this year for South Carolina. Tyler Oakley and Julian Reese are the other 2. So now Luke Rudman controls this one on the far side. A one-time shot there may have gone off the outside of the goalpost after a give and go with Nick Peters. Rudman hits the outside of the frame. So now Parker West takes this one back down low, below the goal line. Watch closely there, and puck picked up. After it was stripped of West's control, it comes now to Ronan Egan. Gator Rudman. And now a bouncing puck out off the dasher there, kind of the shelf below the glass. It comes out into the neutral zone. In and away, a D-to-D pass to Dan Hrdich. And now near side, Julian Reese has it. Reese with Peters breaking towards the net. He's going to send it over for Peters. Picks it up and offsides with 6:38 to go. 1-0 hockey game. South Carolina out ahead. And if you see the way Nick Peters plays forward, we talked about it a little bit last night. That'll make it a little difficult for head coach Alan Sirois to put him back on defense when the time comes. This is the deepest Gamecock team Coach Sirois has had in his 5th year at South Carolina. So now on the far side in the offensive zone, Maddie chips this one back. Hawkinson at the blue line sends one there. A pad save by the goaltender. Another save off the rebound. It goes off the point there by Duncan Hickman. Back down low for Noah Maddie. Nemekis lost his net there for a moment. Now Hawkinson has it along the goal line. 3 Gamecocks in about a 20 square foot radius. All collected down low now at the point. It's Tyler Oakley. Has some trouble with that puck. He'll have to double back towards the blue line. Send this one down now for Rob Lawrence, the lone Canadian on South Carolina's roster. Sends it back up top now for Tyler Oakley. Back down for Corey Hawkinson. He gets taken down from behind there. An enthusiastic body check there. Hawkinson's number 3 was facing the play, and a boarding call forthcoming. It'll be Reed Anderson to the penalty box. The Gamecocks back to the power play. As Trip Russell waits patiently down to our right. He's only had to make about 2 saves so far in this one. And it's a scenario we've seen quite a bit here. Long stretches of inactivity for the South Carolina goaltender. You just got to stay sharp so when you are called upon, you're able to stop the puck. So off the offensive zone face-off, in the right wing face-off dot, it comes back to Ryan McGowan. He plays it with his skate. Stick handles a little too much there. He loses it, so he has to go back to the red line and play it across for Nick Peters. Peters and McGowan, the 2 point men for South Carolina on this power play. The rush broken up by Wake Forest, so they send it all the way down behind Trip Russell. Picked up by Nick Peters, the left-handed shooting defenseman / forward, whatever you want to call him. He's got the puck now. He moves it up to Cam Mecca with speed down the right side. Mecca pulls up there at the goal line, one of his favorite moves, just to stop up quickly on the rush. And he'll send it back on for Nick Peters. Center point lets one go. A save there by the stick of goaltender Nemekis. Now into the corner. Mecca back to the point in Peters. Walks the line, fakes the shot, sends it back on across for Mecca. Far side, shoots one just wide there. It goes off the dasher past Ryan McGowan. And now a clearing attempt comes back, held in by Peters. Off his shin guard to Ronan Egan. Sends that one wide from the near side to the far side. Picked up at the blue line. Cam Mecca walks back down low for Owen Thomas now. At the goal line in the circles now, Mecca. Another give and go 3 times there. Mecca and Thomas try to go back and forth. They're shut down. The rolling puck back on now. 48 seconds. Peters at the point. Fires one there. Redirected in front off the shaft of a Wake Forest stick. And now in behind the goal for Owen Thomas. Spins off his check. Sends it back down for McGowan below the goal line. McGowan in front looking for Peters. Drifts past him. Now Mecca top of the circles. Fires one there and a save right on. Into the breadbasket of Jack Nemekis. He'll hang on for a faceoff. Under 5 to go here in the first period from Winston-Salem. South Carolina on top 1-0. If you're just with us, it was a power play goal from Tyler Oakley. That is the lone tally so far this afternoon. Off the faceoff there, and that puck flipped into the Wake Forest bench. Ducking out of the way of that one is the Wake Forest assistant coach, Landon Kofer. Cole Warner and Mark Caron, the other assistant coaches for the Deacons. Head coach again is Dave Pascal. So center point, Hickman sends this one out for the faceoff. A redirection by Rudman is kicked out by the left pad of the Wake Forest goaltender. Now it's picked up by Julian Reese. 16 to go on the power play. Down low, Rudman. Back up top for Ho. He's going to fire that one. No, he fakes the shot. Instead, back down for Hawkinson. On the backhand, back for Ho. He takes on his backhand. Now sends that one high. It catches the Wake Forest captain, Blake Mueller, up high. He's going to shake that one off. Penalty time expires. So the Gamecocks 1 for 2 on the man advantage so far through the first period of this game. Off the breakout pass. They've got some trouble with this one. Wake Forest just sends it back in. The heads-up play there made by Andrew Adams. So far side, Evan Hoey picks this one up. Sends it through for Corey Hawkinson. Has some trouble with that one, so Blake Mueller takes over. But Hawkinson takes right back over. Now right in front of that Julian Reese, a loose puck. The goaltender lost his net. They put it home. Luke Rudman right in front. The Gamecocks crash the crease, and they get rewarded 2-0 South Carolina with 3:20 to go in the first period. An even strength goal for South Carolina. Rudman, his 9th of the year. Doubles up the lead here for South Carolina. Julian Reese should get an assist on that one. Corey Hawkinson as well. 3:20 to go here in the first. Off the draw, the Deacons have it, though. Out to the far side there. A quick shot gets redirected up and away. Out of play off the stick of Matt Solvaletti. So it is Julian Reese and Corey Hawkinson as the scorekeeper has some troubles reading the names off the score sheet. Again, the handwriting of it was assistant coach John Kochlenberg who wrote the lineup out tonight, this afternoon rather. And we know Coker's handwriting isn't the best. He was actually a little surprised today. Again, this is the home of the Carolina Thunderbirds of the Federal Hockey League. Drew Blevins is the play-by-play announcer for the Thunderbirds, formerly the play-by-play announcer for the NC State Ice Pack, home of John Kochlenberg for quite a few years. So they had a nice conversation. We were able to catch up before this game and before Kochlenberg had to write out the starting lineup. So Wake Forest inside 3 minutes here. Avery Pruden plays this one back inside his own zone up for Michael Peak. Had an assist last night and arguably his best game of the season with his father on hand to watch. A loose puck in the neutral zone bounces away from the control of a couple of players, and yes, sir, offsides to the frustration of Jack McGowan. Andrew Adams got a little over-anxious here. Leading scorer for Wake Forest in the lineup right now, Matt Solvoletti. 6 goals and 10 assists on the season for 16 points. The leading scorer out of the lineup is Drew Gebhardt, the sophomore. 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points. The Deacons have a few more high-scoring forwards, Brendan Gregory and among others, out of the lineup right now. Again, the Mountain Weekend being scheduled this weekend hasn't done Wake Forest any favors. They've got quite the short bench, perhaps the shortest of any of the Gamecock opponents, save maybe for Clemson. So out of the Gamecock defensive zone, it's Tyler Oakley roaring back ahead into the Deacons' end of play here as Corey Hawkinson tries to wrestle that puck free. It's shot back down by Duncan Hickman. It goes on and across there, played by Matt Kirkwood, playing in his first game for Wake Forest. Now a point shot by Oakley goes intentionally wide, tried to be redirected there by Corey Hawkinson. Rob Lawrence gets taken to the boards there. Now Noah Matty tries to play the puck. He can't do it. Wake Forest chips this puck out. Giving chase will be Jake Grossman. Off the line change here for Wake Forest. Corey Hawkinson in a collision at open ice. He lost the puck, now back the other way with some speed. Will be Matt Solvoletti. Down the right side, sends this puck free into the slot there. On the backhand, broken up. Turning shot by Solvoletti, save made by Russell. And the loose puck taken away here by Tyler Oakley. A delayed penalty. After more in the slot, another shot upstairs. Russell makes that save. Finally, South Carolina touches it. And Evan Hoey looks to be the guilty party. He went without a penalty minute in a game against his big brother last night. So he finally finds himself in the penalty box. 1:09 to go in the first. The first South Carolina penalty of the afternoon. Again, as we said, the Gamecocks allowed 2 power play goals on 4 shorthanded chances to the Hokies last night. So back down low inside a minute, Andrew Adams takes this puck away from Parker West. He's out there with Ryan McGowan, Michael Peak, and Evan Hoey, or Matt Owen rather. Hoey in the box, 2 minutes for a roughing call. Center point, controlled there by Mueller. Redirected in front there. It goes just wide, but on the recovery is Adams. Adams turns in the circle, shoots one, and another save made by Trip Russell. He pounces on the rebound, gobbles that one up for a face-off here with 35 to go. Special teams swung in favor of the opposition last night. Gamecocks looking to flip the script here this afternoon. The second D2 opponent here for South Carolina. Again, Virginia Tech was the first, the only D2 opponent this season for the Gamecocks, the only 2 D2 opponents, as the Gamecocks clear the zone. And looking ahead as the Gamecocks finish up this segment of the road trip, they'll go out to play Georgia and Georgia Tech next weekend, and that is the end of this semester. 2 of the more dangerous teams playing out of the SEC HC. As Burke lofts this one back in, Julian Reese picks it up shorthanded in the offensive zone. He'll have to spin off that when he's in on the delayed offsides. So the Deacons control in behind their own net, and the first period expires here. The score through 20 minutes. South Carolina leads Wake Forest 2-0. Goals from Luke Rudman and Tyler Oakley. Oakley's goal came on the power play, assisted by Ryan McGowan and Ronan Egan. Julian Reese and Corey Hawkinson had the helpers on the Rudman goal. Trip Russell making a handful of saves, but a handful of pucks is all that came his way. So we'll step aside, and when we come back, period number 2 here from Winston-Salem on the Capital City Sports Network, all presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network, where the score through first period, 2-0 South Carolina. We are just moments away from the second period. If you are just with us, those goals came on the power play from Tyler Oakley and one at even strength from Luke Rudman. Julian Reese back in the scoring column after his 7-game point scoring streak was snapped after a night of inactivity. Well, not inactivity, but a scoreless game last night against Virginia Tech. So the Gamecocks will move left to right to start this second period. The depleted bench for Wake Forest will probably start to show some signs of slowing down. Maybe not at the beginning of the period, but perhaps towards the end of it. 51 seconds remain on the minor penalty to Evan Hoey. That is the only carryover penalty here into this second period. So Matt Owen, Mike Peak, Duncan Hickman, and Tyler Oakley out there on the penalty kill for South Carolina. Peak has kind of cemented himself as the bottom six utility forward here for South Carolina through the mid stages of this season. Again, the Gamecocks 10-1-1 so far in this campaign. And after this, only 2 games remain in the fall semester as Mike Peak gets rocked there on the near side boards by Blake Mueller. And now the Wake Forest power play chips it back in behind Duncan Hickman. He goes back to get it, and he himself gets hit there. A solid hit by Matt Solvaletti. And now they work it back onto the point. It's Mueller. Center point, the shot rises there. It goes up and over the net of Trip Russell. It goes all the way back out, the puck back out towards the point at the blue line. Mueller walks, sends this one back down low. Top of the circles, on and across for Solvaletti. He gets it back, fires one there. Russell makes the save. The puck is loose, though. They scramble for right in front of the net. The puck pops up. Solvaletti pulls it out, fires when it goes in. No, it goes off the goalpost. The official waves it off. Hoey is out of the box. The Gamecocks have killed it. Michael Peak gets rocked again. The puck drifts all the way back down. Owen Thomas in behind the Wake Forest net. Tries to stick handle it out. Avery Pruden goes in, hits a man. 18:50 to go. That puck popped in and out of the net. It looked like it had gone in, but the official rules it goes off the goalpost. So the score remains 2-0. The Gamecocks kill off Evan Hoey's penalty. And so Wake Forest 0 for 1 on the power play so far this afternoon. Owen Thomas now into the offensive zone, out towards the far side. He's going to walk away here from Dan Herdich. Try to move that puck free now. Cam Mecca has it pinned to the boards. It drifts onto the backside for Avery Pruden. Sends this one back on down for his right winger, Owen Thomas. Thomas back under for Cam Mecca. Tries to spin one there for Ronan Egan. It's cut off there and moved out to the far side to Henry who gets dusted there by Avery Pruden. And the puck rolls all the way back for Colin Burke in Gamecock territory. A line change for South Carolina, and at least a half line change here, brings Luke Rudman onto the ice. And so Cam Mecca gets sent down from behind there. Henry who got the hands up on Mecca, and he is slow to get up here. Blake Mueller slowly collects himself from the playing surface as well. And a bit of a collateral damage case there as who comes over and steamrolls Cam Mecca. He got his captain Mueller as well. So 17:58 to go here in the second period. South Carolina about to go back to the power play here, as they're listing off college football scores right now. We would like the penalty. We know who's in the box. We know Henry who is in the box. Who's on first? Who's in the box here for Wake Forest? It is just a matter of how long. 2 minutes are up on the board here. So a hit from behind to Henry who. The puck drifts all the way back down as the Gamecocks roll to their third power play opportunity of the afternoon. Back out at the point, it's Avery Pruden. Center point shot, save made there. The rebound goes wide. Cam Mecca in after this one. He'll be able to wipe this one free on and across here for Luke Rudman. It's recycled back into the near side corner. Cam Mecca spins off, now top of the circles. Skates away there from Avery Pruden, sends a dispatch there back to Pruden, who dishes on across for Burke. A one-time shot goes off the outside of the cage. And a big hit there on the far side. Ronan Egan takes Dan Herdich into the boards. The puck comes back down to the neutral zone, so Cam Mecca wraps it back down in behind the Wake Forest net. Nemekis can't play that puck, so it rolls underneath and out to the far side for Luke Rudman. Cam Mecca as well, and now Ronan Egan taken into the boards. But pulling the puck off of it is Rudman. Now near side, Hickman sends one down. It's blocked on its way there. Solid stick check by Matt Sovoletti. And now roaring back, short-handed. Jack McGowan out to the right side, sends one on goal. Russell makes the save, and he'll play that puck back for Duncan Hickman to keep the power play going here. 48 seconds left on the man advantage for South Carolina. Cam Mecca down the left wing, pulls up at the hash marks, goes instead back down below the goal line. Stripped of control, he'll follow it on himself. And I'll take it back center point. Mecca sends that one on net. Luke Rudman picks up the loose puck as it goes wide here. 30 seconds to go. Corey Hawkinson now on the ice for South Carolina. Picks it up after being handed the puck by Trip Russell, and Hawkinson will start things out. Far side, Hickman sends this one back in, and it rolls all the way around in front for Julian Reese. The puck pops up in the air after Reese takes a whack at it. He recovers his rebound there and sends it back underneath for Owen Thomas. 5 to go on the man advantage. Thomas back out for Hoey at the blue line. Sends one there, redirected towards the net by Hawkinson. The penalty is expired here. South Carolina now 1 for 3 on the power play. The counterattack for Wake Forest. Now at even strength, it's Andrew Adams brings it over the line. Fought off there by Owen Thomas. Evan Hoey has a stick around the midsection there of Adams. The puck comes free, play continues. It's chipped up the boards and hammered back in. It goes off Hoey, loose puck in front though. Hoey standing right in front of the net. A juicy rebound popped back out as Adams sends a cross check off the side of Evan Hoey, who will send the puck back in. Those two get into it behind the play. Evan Hoey below the goal line in the offensive zone. Tries to send one through the slot for Thomas. It doesn't connect there. Now Adams for Wake Forest. Near side, takes the high glass there. Sends it back there, Evan Hoey. Sends that one off the official. And now Parker West has to come back. Julian Reese plays that puck free, and Parker West inside South Carolina territory pulls the puck out. Over the line now, Michael Peak. With 15 exactly left in this second. Peak trying to give Reed Anderson a run for his money. That puck dished on back to the near side. Played past Parker West. He's going to have to run back and get it. Dish on across there for Ryan McGowan. Sends that one off a skate up for Michael Peak at the red line. Chips that one back for Joe Collega, who is just a step behind Matt Owen. And so offsides will come. 14:39 to go. Second period. The Gamecocks still lead it 2-0. And we see that third line. Well, really, there are no third lines here for South Carolina. As Coach Sirwash said, it really depends on the night who gets what amount of playing time. And Joe Collega, the professional forechecker, gets in after it and forces a play, so the puck comes all the way back out to Ryan McGowan. Forcing mistakes out of the Wake Forest defense, who now have forced a mistake out of Ryan McGowan down the right side off the turnover. Centering pass, and they score! Off the turnover there, Henry Hu feeds Michael Kenny, and Wake Forest is on the board. Michael Kenny's second goal of the season in his 10th game. And it seems to be whatever we talk about, we get a good example from the game. So forcing mistakes out of your opponent, the Gamecocks did it, and, well, Wake Forest did it right back, except this time the Deacons have capitalized on it to cut the lead in half now. It's 2-1 South Carolina. Off the center ice draw here. The fight song for Wake Forest still playing over the loudspeakers. They send this one back in. Noah Matty giving chase for South Carolina. Scored his first career goal last night. It was the empty netter that appeared to put the Virginia Tech game away, but we all know how that one ended. So in behind the net, Matty has that puck too far from his reach. He tries to force a turnover there. Jack McGowan plays it through. And now Avery Pruden can't hold the puck in at the line. They'll drop this one off. Back the other way. It's Anderson for Wake Forest. Tries to curl that one around Colin Burke. Matt Solvanetti underneath now for Corey Hawkinson. Has some trouble with that one. The Gamecocks back on their heels in the mid-stage of this second period. Redirected puck into the Gamecock bench. And perhaps a blessing in disguise there as Wake Forest was rolling back into the Gamecock zone. So 13.5 to go here. Gamecocks 4-1 and 1 on the road. 4-1-1, that tie just being tacked on there a few hours ago. Still remain unbeaten on home ice. But the Gamecocks look to boost their road numbers a little bit here. And the 2-goal lead, the most dangerous in hockey. We've seen it here. It's been cut in half, so as Cam Mecca plays this puck out at the red line, he's the voice of reason in the locker room for South Carolina. That's why he's got the C on his sweater. He will try to lead his Gamecocks here to some more stellar play as Owen Thomas gets crunched into the boards at the Wake Forest goal line. So battling for that puck now is Mecca. He bodies Sovoletti off the puck. Now a shot there redirected by the stick of goaltender Nemekis up into the high glass, so Owen Thomas can gather it on the far side there. He's taken into the boards, and now out of that scrum, the puck ripped around to the near side. Pinching down is Tyler Oakley. But the Deacons take control on the zone exit. They'll send this one out. A big collision in front of the penalty box there. Owen Thomas now a follow-up shot there. Ronan Egan gets the shoulder up high. Delayed penalty. Henry, who has the puck as Nemekis goes towards the bench. Extra attacker on for Wake Forest. And that puck touched by Duncan Hickman, but play continues here. Now it'll be taken by Tyler Oakley. And play still continues here. Wake Forest in behind the net. Looked like twice the Gamecocks touch it. Now a third time the Gamecocks touch it. Play still continues. Wake Forest has the puck. A turning shot there. Russell makes the save. And fourth time's the charm here. Tyler Oakley touches that puck up. The delayed penalty is called with 12:08 to go in the second period. That'll send Ronan Egan to the penalty box here for a high hit on one of the Deacons. They'll say he got the elbow up. Looked to be one of those borderline calls, could have gone either way. And the officials do take it the elbowing route. So Egan sits for a pair here. His first penalty in quite some time. Although Egan does have 22 and now 24 penalty minutes on the season. So the offensive zone faceoff comes to the stick side of Trip Russell. Now they go point to point. A shot redirected in front there. Almost an open net for Adams as he sends this one across the seam, rather. It pops up in the air in behind the South Carolina net. Adams waits patiently, gets the puck along the near side boards. And now it's sent away there by Luke Rudman. Tries to spring Julian Reese shorthanded. He races back, a one-on-one battle. Reese gets to it first. He takes a man down, bodies Dan Herdich off the puck, and Reese has it shorthanded in the offensive zone. Sends this one across to an open patch. He's going to get it himself. Haven't seen that one too often. So in behind the Wake Forest net, Luke Rudman continues to be a pest. Rudman bodied off there by Blake Mueller. He goes down, and now Mueller has that one behind his own net, away from Rudman. Finally, some open ice as Julian Reese goes for a line change here. And now over the line come the Deacons. A centering pass there, knocked down, a follow-up opportunity. Perhaps Sovoletti on the backhand shot there. Goes off Russell, perhaps the outside of the cage as well. And so Colin Burke gets to the bouncing puck. Under a minute to go on the elbowing minor to Ronan Egan. And a turnover in the offensive zone. Matt Owen sends one off the goalpost. A chance out of nothing. Matt Owen looking for a second goal in as many games. Couldn't beat the iron after beating the goaltender. And so now in the defensive zone for Wake Forest, Andrew Adams. Matt Owen went to hit him, and Owen appeared to get the worst of that one, so he's back on his skates now. 10:30 to go in the second period here. Burke off the turnover, now picked up by Michael Peak. Onsides, they come a shot there. Easy save by the goaltender Nemekis. Michael Peak padding his shot on goal totals here, and 21 seconds to go on the Egan penalty. The Gamecocks will have this ensuing face-off and perhaps one last power play rush by Wake Forest until they can say they've killed off the penalty. Cam Mecca comes in to take the face-off. And it's one forward there by Wake Forest, so they'll try to move this one up the wall. They've got some trouble with it. And they'll battle for it at the blue line. Michael Kenny. That puck intercepted at the red line by Cam Mecca. 3 men strong back the other way for Wake Forest. Mecca on the back check. A big combo hit there. Pruden and Mecca team up to knock the puck away from Sovoletti. A shot there. Russell makes the save. And a rebound there. Russell gets the pad on it again. 2 big stops. Egan's out. He wants the home run pass, but Parker West going to carry it himself. West down the right side. Drops it off for Mecca. Centering pass for Egan. It comes now instead to Owen Thomas on the backhand. He sends that one high. It catches the boards in behind the net. Now it's Egan. Another shot there. Knocked down in front. Never got to the net. Loose out to the far side. The Wake Forest power play guys are still out there, and they are tired. 9:43 to go in the second period. Owen Thomas carts this one into the slot. Loses the puck. Poked back down by Avery Pruden. Comes back on now for Parker West. Has to double back inside the Gamecock zone, and now a full line change here for Wake Forest. Into the skates now of Jack McGowan. Watched by Cam Mecca. Back to his feet now after blowing a tire is Matt Kirkwood. And now Kirkwood just one touches this puck in over the red line. Parker West has some trouble in his own zone. Kicks the puck back up to his stick. Makes the safe play in behind his own net. Receives the pass back from Avery Pruden. And Parker West has some real estate to work with here. He elects to go to Owen Thomas, who just one touches this puck back in over the red line. It's recycled back out. Played through the air there by Cam Mecca, who gets a high hit there. Mecca shrugs that one off. He lost a stick. Have to go back and pick that one up, and naturally lost the puck as well. So Hickman feathers this one back in. The Gamecocks touch up on the delayed offsides. Back in to get it, Reed Anderson for Wake Forest. Taken to the boards by Ronan Egan. Another line change here for South Carolina. On comes Noah Maddie. Played all the way back out, and icing will be called. 8.5 to go. Wake Forest has some counter viewpoints here. And a penalty forthcoming. Penalty box door swings open. Jack McGowan's going to sit for 2. A penalty in behind the play. We will have a slash to McGowan. Jack McGowan, that is. Gamecocks go back to the power play. So the Gamecocks scored on their first power play opportunity, and then the man advantage kind of dried up for them there. Couldn't score on Who's penalty or Anderson as well. It goes by the wayside. For those of you just joining us, that is Henry Who. I'm not just asking who was in the penalty box. Though you Evan Costello fans out there will enjoy the irony in that. So off the offensive zone draw here, the puck comes back to Evan Hoey at the point. Walks back towards the blue line, sends this one across to Nick Peters, who finds himself back on the South Carolina blue line. Now Noah Maddie, a quick shot there by Corey Hawkinson goes wide. A little 1-2 pass. The Gamecocks just a hair off from making this a 3-1 game. Now Nick Peters at the top of the circles, doubles back towards the blue line, sends a nice saucer pass down to the right side. Noah Maddie at the hash marks, waits patiently. Inches back down low, tries to find the seam for Hawkinson there. The puck rejected and sent back out to the top. It's Peters, fakes the shot, goes back down low. One-touch shot goes wide there. Rob Lawrence had the angle, and a follow-up chance by Maddie is swallowed up by Nemekis as well. Couple of big shots. And Nemekis on top of all of them. 1:21 to go on the penalty to Jack McGowan. The shots after the first period were 17-5. Right now they stand at 22-15 in favor of the visitors. So the Gamecocks actually being outshot here in the second period. Julian Reese steps in to take the offensive zone face-off here with 1:21 to go left on this South Carolina power play. And shorthanded Wake Forest sends this one all the way back down on Trip Russell's net. He'll play that one to his defenseman and president, Evan Hoey. So from the modern Toyota logo in behind the Gamecock net, South Carolina will start this one out down the right side. Julian Reese pulls up at the circle. Sends this one underneath to Gator Rudman. Rudman waiting patiently, comes off, finds Reese, takes the shot there, big diving block. Reed Anderson got the shin guard on that one, robs Julian Reese of a sure goal. But Reese has the puck now, inching back towards the blue line. Julian Reese creating time and certainly a considerable amount of space. Back on now, Peters fires one, a rising shot there, knocked down in front, past Michael Peak, intercepted there, Reese. Or Rudman, rather, the turning shot there. It's rejected and sent back out by Wake Forest. One more opportunity here for South Carolina. On this power play, Julian Reese takes it in. He's still got the puck down the right side. It's Reese. Pulls up, now doubles back. Below the circle, sends one across there into the skates of Tyler Oakley. And now a shot there, save, loose puck, rebound, they score! That puck sitting right in the blue paint. Owen Thomas cashes in. South Carolina 3, Wake Forest 1. The Gamecock power play cycling that puck pretty well. The opportunities just weren't there. They stuck with it. And so Thomas pots the rebound off of the Oakley shot. Julian Reese might find himself an assist on this one. Second power play goal of the hockey game for South Carolina. They are 2 for 4. Off the face-off. Gamecocks win it forward. Owen Thomas tries to sidestep a man. Goes out to the right side there underneath. Bump pass there. Mecca out for Ronan Egan. Comes back out to the point. And so Oakley and Nick Peters get the 2 assists on the Owen Thomas goal, rather. So Parker West from his own zone sends this one back out. It ricochets off a plethora of sticks. Goes all the way back down on Nemekis. He'll play this one for his defenseman, Michael Kenny. And so a bouncing puck up over the head of Parker West in the neutral zone. The South Carolina defenseman pinches in. Owen Thomas doubles back to play this one. Sidesteps a couple of Wake Forest players. Now in over the offensive zone line. He's got it. Out to the far side. Owen Thomas, the most recent goal scorer, back for McGowan. A couple of Massachusetts boys hook up on this one. Thomas sends that one loose in the slot. It goes off a Wake Forest skate. Cam Mecca hounding him for the puck there. He's able to wrestle it away from Michael Kenny, but Kenny got it away out to center ice. Sent back in on goal. That 90-foot shot swallowed up and held there by Jack Nemekis. And so a face-off with 5:40 to go here in the second. Offensive zone draw for South Carolina will come out to the left wing face-off circle. Trip Russell stretching down to our left here. Again, trying to keep warm in a shot where he's only seen 15 pieces of rubber, which isn't an unusually low number, but it's perhaps lower than usual. So at the top of the circles, the Gamecocks have it. Corey Hawkinson spins off a check, tries to skate this one in the slot. It's taken there by Rob Lawrence, sends that one to the net. A bouncer couldn't go, and so Rob Lawrence off the outside of the cage there. Michael Peak, Noah Maddie rather, on the ice as well, and so offsides is called as the Gamecocks try to keep it in. Wake Forest tries to keep it out. And the result, an offsides call. The battle at the blue line there. Pruden and Burke, the defenseman, on now for South Carolina. Hawkinson wins it back to Pruden. And he'll send this one on across for Colin Burke. Wristed back in by the 6'5" defenseman. Too far for Nemekis to get a stick on that. He went in behind his own net to play it. So back at the point, the puck comes to Pruden. Sent there. Kick save there by the right pad of Nemekis. And the rebound comes all the way out. Jump starts a rush of sorts here for Wake Forest. Coming back is Hawkinson to negate that one. And in behind the South Carolina net, Avery Pruden. Near side, Rob Lawrence through the neutral zone. Dishes a nice saucer pass out and across for Corey Hawkinson. Lowers the shoulder on the backhand there. Anytime Hawk lowers the shoulder on the backhand on that far side of the ice, he's a left-handed shot. You know that backhand's coming. And he just couldn't get it off cleanly that time. Noah Maddie swivels one there through the goal mouth. It comes on and across now for Tyler Oakley. In behind the goal for Noah Maddie again. Bounces that one back for Corey Hawkinson. Maddie gets it back. In the right wing faceoff circle. On and across again there. Intended for Rob Lawrence. Couldn't get a stick on that one. It's rejected and sent back out by Andrew Adams, who carts it himself. Adams steps wide on Pruden. Gets the shot there. Hit the goal post. Another opportunity there for Wake Forest. Up over the glove of Trip Russell. Now a point shot there. Goes off the skates of Avery Pruden. Noah Maddie picks up the rebound and out towards center. Tyler Oakley over the blue line here for South Carolina. Just sends this one back in. That'll send Matt Owen in after it as the lone forechecker. 3:46 to go. South Carolina leads 3-1. Joe Collega steps back on now for South Carolina. Goes across for Duncan Hickman. Sends the puck in below the goal in Nemekis. Michael Peak, the forechecker. With the puck now, Henry Hu for Wake Forest. Now Matt Owen tries to get his stick involved there, and Joe Collega as well. So Collega pins him into the boards, as does Matt Owen. Finally, out of all the confusions and swiping in the corner, the puck comes out to Hickman. Center point walks, sends one down low. A bouncer goes just wide there. Duncan Hickman picked up an assist in last night's game. 3 points on the year as he goes back to play this icing. Hickman notched 2 goals and 9 assists for 11 points last season, and one of those goals, if you will remember, came in the final game of the Palmetto Cup Series against Clemson. Actually, I believe both of his goals came against Clemson. One at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. In what we thought was Hickman's final senior night. He's back as a law student now. So Evan Hoey controls at the point and fires one there. It goes off a leg of one of the Deacons, and so the Gamecocks will have to play this puck back in after it came out. Under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. Swipe back out. The Deacons have some trouble here. They go back and forth in their own zone for a little while until finally able to escort this puck out to center is Jack McGowan. The Gamecocks quickly recycle it back on goal. An easy glove save for Jack Nemekis. And another face-off here in that right-wing face-off dot. Cal Mayer is the backup goaltender for Wake Forest, at least for tonight. He's a senior, 6-1 on the season. 2.27 goals against average, an .899 save percentage. We thought with the depleted bench here for Wake Forest that we would see Mayer at some point. But Nemekis has played a pretty solid game here. So back the other way comes Wake Forest. A quick shot there goes wide by Reed Anderson. Still a lot of time left in this hockey game, though, as Luke Ribman picks it up off the board, sends this one back out. A bouncing puck too far there for Julian Reese. It pops off Nick Peters at center, so Reese can control. Into the slot here, Reese dishes one back for Nick Peters. He'll have to go back and play it at the face-off circle. And now he'll wheel into the slot. A backhander by Peters, redirected in front. Took a couple of funny bounces as Julian Reese and Luke Rudman tangle with a couple of Deacons in front of the Wake Forest net. Nothing comes of it. Pieces restored, and line changes follow. Corey Hawkinson back on the ice now for South Carolina. He's flanked by Noah Maddie and Rob Lawrence, as he has been all year. Maddie and Lawrence, as this shot there by Maddie goes off the goaltender. Maddie and Lawrence spent some time together. Another member of the Atlanta Junior Knights, USPHL. So 3 members of that team now come to South Carolina as Maddie joins the squad. A long wrister there sent on goal. Trip Russell right into the crest there. The A in Carolina, and the puck sticks to it. So a face-off now in the South Carolina zone with 1:44 to go. So we've talked about the Gamecock schedule shifting to Georgia and rounding out the first semester that way. And the Gamecocks' first game back in the new year will be a January 17th road trip to Kennesaw State. Now 3-on-1 back the other way for South Carolina with 90 seconds to go. Lawrence with Maddie and Hawkinson. Maddie to Hawkinson, a shot off the goal post and a big save there. Turning around to cover the puck up is Nemekis. Hawkinson's shot goes off the iron, off the goaltender's back. He whirls around and puts the glove on top of it. Outstanding athleticism there by the Deacons netminder. So as we were saying, a road trip to start out the second semester for South Carolina against the Owls of Kennesaw State. The Gamecocks don't return home until January the 24th and 25th against UNC Charlotte and Georgia, respectively. And then a handful of games until the SEC tournament in Nashville. But focusing on the present, the Gamecocks do have the puck in the offensive zone. They send one towards the net. It's paddled aside there by Nemekis. And now back the other way come the Deacons. They'll lift this one all the way back in. Off the dasher, Avery Pruden. To the near side, Noah Maddie pulls that puck out of his skates and sends it on for Corey Hawkinson, who has some trouble with that puck. So Blake Mueller takes over instead for Wake Forest. Far side, rattled back in behind the net of Trip Russell. In on the forecheck, Andrew Adams for Wake Forest. Tries to center one there, an open net opportunity. Back at the point, McGowan the shot there. Save made by Russell. He's going to cover up the rebound. Jack McGowan's rising shot gave Trip Russell a little bit of trouble. Bobbled the puck a few times, but he's able to hang on here for save number 16 on the afternoon. Russell's been solid. He had some struggles, not against App State, but in his brief stint against Clemson, where he had to come in relief of Liam Gormley during equipment malfunction. 1 goal on 2 shots, but he's certainly shaken that off, and he's back to his stellar performance here. As now Mecca plays this one off the far sideboards. Under 30 to go. A big booming shot there from the point. Wake Forest that may have caught Mecca on its way to the net here. As Andrew Adams spins this one back down below the Gamecock net for Matt Solvaletti. Reese, Duncan Hickman rather, out off the high glass. And now a break back the other way. Under 20 to go. 2-on-1. Thomas down the right side with Mecca. The trailer, is he going to shot there? Sends it wide off the boards. Thomas puts it home. Owen Thomas' second goal of the hockey game. It didn't look like that puck went in at first. 4-1 South Carolina with 11 seconds to go here in the second. As Sandstorm plays in an unfriendly arena here. Not sure if you can hear it. How unusual is that? So Thomas's second goal of the game. 9th of the season. And that'll be about the best way you could end a second period. They've given Tyler Oakley the lone assist on that puck, or on that Thomas goal, but it was clearly Ronan Egan that shot the puck. So we'll wait for that to be ironed out, but we'll stick with what we do know for right now. The shots through 40 minutes, South Carolina 31, Wake Forest 18. The score through that same time period, the Gamecocks lead the Deacons 4-1. We will send you to a break. They'll cut the ice here. We will gather our wits. And when we come back, the third period here from Winston-Salem on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. The score through 2 periods. South Carolina 4, Wake Forest 1. The Gamecocks here in this 3rd period looking to close things out, something that was a bit of a struggle for them last night against Virginia Tech. And an opportunity to bounce back here against a depleted opponent. Trip Russell back down to our right. Jack Nemekis to our left. Julian Reese has been showered and back in his street clothes. He will not play the remainder of this hockey game for, again, we would assume management of whatever injury or ailment he's dealing with. He looked to be moving out there okay in the first 2 periods, a lower body injury, as it were. So off the center ice draw, Duncan Hickman pinches up, gets taken into the boards, and lets go of that puck here. So it drifts back out to Cam Mecca at the red line. He doubles back, and Gamecocks moving right to left here in this 3rd period. Mecca swings that one as he falls down. He's swiping that one off the boards is the goaltender Jack Nemekis. A shot there. He makes the save. And Cam Mecca was waiting for the rebound right in front. As the puck drifts back to Hickman. He's going to send one there high and wide. It was redirected by Mecca almost on goal. And now Owen Thomas digging after it. In the far side corner, the puck pops up, and Tyler Oakley dives down to try and keep that puck in. He can't do it, so it drifts back. Duncan Hickman has to recover. And picking this puck up now, Owen Thomas. Too far for him, though, so it's taken instead by Henry Hu of Wake Forest. And a big hit in behind the cage. Ryan McGowan, shoulder to chest on Reed Anderson. And so back the other way, counter the Deacons. And an icing will be called here. McGowan good for at least one of those hits every game. In Tennessee, he was good for about 4 or 5 of them, and it ended up costing him a handful of penalty minutes. He was under the skin of one of the Tennessee players, and the Tennessee player was under his skin. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, I believe it was Kyle Bartles. I have to go back and check the notes on that one. But an offensive zone face-off by the Gamecocks. They send this one in front. Colin Burke comes back down low to play this one. And he'll battle for it in the corner there with Dan Herdich. Puck rolls up the wall. Played back out. McGowan holds it in. Sends one across there. Intended for Nick Peters, who's back down playing wing. He plays the right side now on this new look line. Ryan McGowan out there playing forward as well. So McGowan, Peters, and Luke Rudman are now what makes up the remains of Gray line. Mike Bolger, again, unable to make this trip due to a class he had on Friday. Other notable Gamecock absence is Chad Lazine due to a class as well. Ian Powderly couldn't come up due to a broken water pump in his Toyota 4Runner. So Luke Rudman battles for that puck at center ice. 2 minutes gone here. The score still 4-1 South Carolina in this 3rd period. Avery Pruden waits patiently now to receive this puck from Nick Peters. Now he does. At the half boards, 3-4 quasi-defensemen on the ice now for South Carolina. Peters, Burke, McGowan, and Pruden. I believe at one time each of them has played forward, just not for South Carolina. So Burke makes a nice play there. Puck between the legs at the blue line. He quickly gets picked up and thrown off that puck. For as tall as Colin Burke is, he does not weigh very much. 6'5", 175 pounds. So he gets knocked off the puck a little more easily than you would assume. But now the puck in the slot comes back out for Wake Forest, played into the skates of Evan Hoey by Matt Kirkwood. And now fired back in off the glove of Corey Hawkinson. Hoey takes over from Gamecock territory. Stretch pass, too far for Rob Lawrence. In behind the Wake Forest netminder, he'll play that one on the backhand past Lawrence. Hawkinson comes down to play that puck from the line, and now racing back with some speed. Andrew Adams has a breakaway. Adams on Russell to the backhand, a shot, he sent it wide. It comes in off the boards. Evan Hoey picks it up. Adams looked like he had a step there on Russell. Just couldn't get the rangefinder correct. So now Hawkinson barreling back, plays that puck from his stomach as he rolls into the Wake Forest zone, finally picking himself back up from the boards on the far side as the puck rolls around to the near side. Hoey pinches in for South Carolina, played back down low by Rob Lawrence. In behind the net there, taken by Captain Blake Mueller. Crunched by Corey Hawkinson. The loose puck to Andrew Adams. He'll bring this one back on. A 4-on-1 develops here for Wake Forest. Adams down the right side, pulls up in front of the net. A backhand shot there, and the puck in the goaltending equipment of Trip Russell. He's got that one for a save and a face-off here with 6:17 to go in regulation. So the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, home to the Federal Prospects Hockey League Carolina Thunderbirds. Been here since 2016, and been a couple different variations of this team that have occupied the Annex. The Winston-Salem Thunderbirds, the Winston-Salem Ice Hawks, Winston-Salem T-Birds, Twin Cities Cyclones, one of the names, as a revolving door of teams, but that's the way things go in the minor leagues. So in the offensive zone, Matt Owen gets taken down hard from behind. He lost his helmet. Matt Owen slow to get up there. A heavy check. Blake Mueller got his shoulder into the pretty much square into the back of Matt Owen. Owen looks no worse for wear. No penalty called on that hit. Seemed pretty clear that Matt Owen had his numbers turned to the play, but he is unshaken, or at least visibly unshaken. What's going on inside of that helmet is unknown to everyone except for him. And the officials are going to talk here. Yeah, the head official with the linesman. 5 skaters aside for now. And they're going to wave Matt Owen off. They send Matt Owen to the bench. And Matt Owen doesn't want to go. So over the boards comes Nick Peters to take his spot. And off the draw in the neutral zone. No penalty off that hit. Matt Owen, surprised that he's the only one that got waved off the ice, but play continues here. Michael Peak in the offensive zone for South Carolina. Can't hang on to control here. So Michael Kenny will take it from in behind his own net. A big hit by Joe Collega sends his man down. So the rolling puck in behind the net. Back on the ice now. They've sent Matt Owen out immediately. They got him a line change here. So Collega at the point. Receives that puck from Peak. Sends one on goal there. Blocker saved the puck loose in front there and finally able to be covered by Jack Nemekis. A bouncing puck and just what gamesmanship there by Alan Sirwa. The officials wave Matt Owen off because he lost his helmet. And they fear injury or whatever. And Alan Sirwa sends him on immediately after. You know, I thought I'd heard the last of Old Town Roads, but as it plays here from the fairgrounds. So off the defensive zone draw, Wake Forest has it, but Ronan Egan off the turnover. They'll send that one in front, intended for Mecca. And now Egan a shot there on the rebound. Mecca cashes in, 5-1 South Carolina. You knew he'd get one. Cam Mecca in the goal column for the second straight night. He hits double digits here in his second year of hockey at South Carolina. Ronan Egan will certainly get an assist on that one. According to the official score, he's got 2, but according to those who have paid a little bit more attention, Ronan Egan should have a 3rd assist. As this puck fired in just wide of Trip Russell's net. And as Cam Mecca brings this one up through the neutral zone, gets hit right in front of the scorer's table. Owen Thomas getting the other assist on the Mecca goal as this puck sent right out into the slot. And blue line still on for South Carolina. Thomas, Mecca, and Egan in a 5-1 hockey game here. Now shot upstairs. It rolls up off the back of the goaltender and pinballs around. He is down on the ice, and now they'll finally score. Colin Burke puts it in the net, but they'll wave it off. Nemekis was down on the ice. He still hasn't gotten up. There was a scramble in front. The collision didn't look too conspicuous. There was a train of both Gamecock and Deacon players in front of Nemekis. And typically when the goaltender's hurt like that, the officials will blow the whistle right away. They let play continue, and as about half the players on the ice were looking towards the goaltender, the other half were playing as if they didn't know what was going on. Colin Burke, one of those, he just sent the puck on net and it went in. But with 14:33 to go, they will not tally that one. So the score remains at 5-1. And as we approach the 2-hour mark of the broadcast, Jeff Nemekis back up on his skates. He seems to be okay. As we approach the 2-hour mark of the broadcast, that was where it cut out last game. Again, still not entirely sure what happened there, so we'll be monitoring this one pretty closely to make sure the same doesn't happen this afternoon. Luke Rudman underneath. Now Ryan McGowan still playing forward here. He's going to try to send this one on the wraparound attempt. Still loose. McGowan battling for it there. He's got the puck out, and he'll skate it back out towards the boards. McGowan, nice move away from a man there. Ryan McGowan out at the point. Avery Pruden here. A handful of defensemen on for South Carolina. Luke Rudman down low at the goal line. He is the only normal forward on the ice for South Carolina. He's got a goal here tonight, his 9th of the season. And now out off the glove of Avery Pruden at center ice. Colin Burke sends this one on through for Ryan McGowan. A bouncing puck too far for him. So giving chase now McGowan and Peters. Peters shrugs off a hit there by Jack McGowan of Wake Forest. Ryan McGowan for South Carolina back into the play. And now it's Evan Hoey at the red line. Hoey tries to freight train his way into the Wake Forest zone. Instead, the puck drifts all the way back after it was played by a Deacon defenseman into the Gamecocks zone. A shot there up high off the shoulder of Trip Russell. He never saw it. He made the save, though, and it ricochets in behind the net, taken by Andrew Adams. And now a point shot there up and over the gloves of Russell into the glass. Play continues here. That puck still in the realm of play. Now batted down at the blue line there. Solid defensive effort. Hand-eye coordination by Matt Solvaletti. And now back, Evan Hoey, as Wake Forest goes for a line change here. 13:04 to go in the third period. Now they'll try to spring Ryan McGowan. He will... It was an icing call, hybrid icing, and Ryan McGowan had beaten the defenseman back to the top of the circles by a few miles, and they still call the icing as though it was no-touch icing. Ryan McGowan a little unhappy about that one, but 13 minutes to go as we welcome Julian Reese to the broadcast booth, flanked now by Gamecock Ben Smith. Julian Reese pulls up a seat, and if I had more mics, gentlemen, I'd have you on the air with me. But for next time. And now a stretch pass here goes off the skate of one of the Wake Forest forwards. That is Matt Solvaletti. He'll play this one in behind the net of Trip Russell. Watched by Corey Hawkinson. The pass goes too far, so instead the Gamecocks take over. Parker West down the near side. He stick handles his way around a man. Parker West lowers the shoulder, sends one there, intended for the slot, picked off instead by Jack McGowan. And McGowan gathers speed in front of both benches. A 3-on-2. Back the other way for the Deacons. A long shot. Save made by Russell. The rebound popped up and over his shoulder. Almost ended up in the net. Instead, it goes wide. Now a chance in the slot here for Matt Kirkwood. Bodied off there. A big hit by Parker West. Takes Kirkwood into the glass. And Kirkwood's got to pick himself up off the ice. So back the other way, Noah Matty on sides. Tries to feed Rob Lawrence. It's taken instead there by Andrew Adams. Back the other way for Wake Forest. 12 to go here. Adams curls his way. A nice move there around Duncan Hickman in between the wickets of the Gamecock defenseman. The puck goes into the corner instead. Adams a rising backhand shot too far past the blocker of Trip Russell. And now that played into the slot there. It comes back out. Duncan Hickman plays this one on through the neutral zone to the elbow pad there of Rob Lawrence. The puck knocked back down into the skates of Tyler Oakley. He'll swirl around and send a backhand back into the Wake Forest zone. Reed Anderson back on now for Matt Kirkwood. The slow breakout here for the Deacons. Joe Collega giving them some difficulty, as will Tyler Oakley. Collega finally mines that puck out, and now it's Peak in the slot. Sends it down low for Collega, turning back here, and he can't get the shot off there. Collega being thrown into the Wake Forest net right now. He can't get out because the goaltender is in his way. And now Peak trying to stuff a wraparound. Finally, Collega is free from the cage. And now Peak back out to the blue line. Looking for Collega. He gets sandwiched again. A target on the back of number 19 in garnet and black as we hit the 11-minute mark. This puck played back out. Duncan Hickman able to just chip that puck back in over the blue line. The Deacons play this one through now. It's Matt Kirkwood down the left side. He'll just play this one in on Trip Russell. Easy stick save, and he'll leave it for Michael Peak. Stretch pass by Peak out off the boards. Joe Collega cannot gain full control, so back the other way. A long shot, easy save by Russell, but he's got to watch that rebound there. He kicked that one right out into the slot. Dan Herdich almost had an easy tap-in goal there. The Gamecock defenseman bail out their goaltender. And now back, a little one-touch there between the wickets of Hickman again. Brought in by Matt Solvaletti. A steep angle shot there, never got to the net. Blocked on its way there by Michael Peak. Out off the high glass, ricochets back in front. And now taken out by Matt Owen. He's got his helmet all secured now. And back over the red line. where it can be taken by Dan Herdich of Wake Forest. Lofted out towards the glass. Duncan Hickman from his own zone. And now the stretch pass out, backhanded in by Matt Owen. Wake Forest takes over quickly, though. They counter back with some speed. Matt Sovoletti in and across. A quick shot there upstairs. Trip Russell got the blocker on, and it goes into the netting. Andrew Adams looking for a tuck tonight. He's got one on the season through 5 games. This is now his 6th game played. 9:52 to go here in the third period. 5-1 the score. South Carolina in front. The shots now 40-23 in favor of the visitors. Wake Forest closed the gap in the second period, but the Gamecocks have stormed back with all kinds of offense here in the third. Ironically, without Julian Reese on the bench, or on the ice for that matter. As Burke sends one up the wall now for Cam Mecca. He'll send this one all the way back down. Icing is waved off. Owen Thomas against the Wake Forest captain Mueller. Sends that one back now underneath. It's Cam Mecca looking for the wraparound. Mecca comes out, fires one, and it goes in. Cam Mecca. What a goal by the Gamecock captain. 6-1 in favor of the visitors. And I think that's become a new Cam Mecca original. Coming out from in behind the net. He's a left-handed shot, so Mecca comes down the left wing, button hooks around behind the net, comes out, and makes that steep angle shot on the glove hand side of the goaltender. He beats him that time. And just the elusiveness of Cam Mecca on display in that one. Under 9.5 to go. 6-1 South Carolina. They still haven't put the goal up on the board. As Ryan McGowan plays forechecker now for the Gamecocks. It seems his shifts as a defenseman are all but done here in this one. Still on the wing there with Luke Rudman and Nick Peters. So Rudman in behind the net. He gets taken in there. His numbers facing the play. He gets hit. Play continues. And now back out the other way. They'll clear the zone. And the puck drifts back in on Trip Russell. He'll play that puck for Evan Hoey. Hoey swivels this one around for Nick Peters on the near side. That puck bounces up in the air thanks to the forechecking Andrew Adams. Now behind the net, Hoey dishes this one on back for Parker West again. Near side, back below the goal to President Hoey. He'll skate this one out himself. Try to find Parker West. Ryan McGowan on the near side. And now it drifts all the way back down into Deacon territory. Too far for Nick Peters. Sent back out, glove down by Evan Hoey at the red line here. They'll have to have Ryan McGowan come back and give him some help as the forechecking Reed Anderson breaks things up. Now back the other way with some speed. Luke Rudman, one-on-one back the other way. Tries to take it out wide. Rudman gets knocked down there. Solid defensive play by Dan Herdich for Wake Forest. But now Peters shuffles this one on for Parker West. West down the left side. Peters goes for a line change here. That'll bring on Corey Hawkinson. And now Wake Forest can't get it out of the zone. They go into the skates of Rob Lawrence. And now drifting on back. And Adams 2-on-1 here. A shot there. Save made by Russell. He got the left pad on it. Couple of sneaky opportunities here for Andrew Adams in the late stages of this hockey now. Loose puck, a following shot there. Save made by Trip Russell again, fresh from the bench. Michael Kenny just had to one-time that puck. He sent it down low. Trip Russell got the stick on it. So now back. Hawkinson up for Lawrence. Down the right side into the far side corner. Bodied off the puck there. Hawkinson comes over to give his winger some help. And now Kenny throws that one through Noah Matty. Bounces there up and over the head of Tyler Oakley at the blue line. He'll send this one back in. Hawkinson is in offsides. They will rule that the Wake Forest player was unable to touch it before Hawkinson did. So 7:17 to go in period number 3. The Gamecocks do have a 6-1 lead. I'm not making that up. But they haven't put the 6th goal up on the scoreboard yet. So the neutral zone face-off, I don't know if they will put that up on the scoreboard, but we know the truth. That's what matters. Puck drifting all the way back in behind the Wake Forest net. Sent all the way back down, taken there by Reed Anderson. It drifts all the way back out to Tyler Oakley now at center. Duncan Hickman from between the two face-off circles, and a stretch pass there intended for, it was a 50-50 puck. Either Collega or Michael Peak could have gotten that one. Instead, neither of them get it. And so icing results all the way back down to our right. Conversation with Trip Russell and Tyler Oakley. The young guys having some words here. Only 2 seniors on this Gamecock team. As we've said, it is a young club. Corey Hawkinson and Alex Siegfried. Siegfried could not make the trip here. Well, Duncan Hickman's a grad student. Thank you, though, Julie. But either way, a young club here. The rookies and sophomores really run the show. As this puck played away there from Matt Owen, rather. There it is, that obligatory once-a-game mistaking Matt Owen for Owen Thomas. Out off the boards in front of the Gamecock bench here. 6.5 to go, third period. Gamecocks lead Wake Forest 6-1. A collision with Hickman there at center ice results in a chance back the other way for Matt Solvaletti. That one played aside by Tyler Oakley. Now a big hit in behind the net, a couple of them. Joe Collega, and in behind the plate, Matt Owen finally picks his stick up from underneath one of the Deacons. Looks like getting back into the play, Andrew Adams. So in the offensive zone for South Carolina, played back out. Joe Collega finishes his check. Adams brings it back on. Drop pass there. Picked up by Anderson. Sends one there off the skate of Duncan Hickman. Now centering pass picked up instead by Joe Collega. He'll take this one freely out of his own zone. Intercepted the line by McGowan. Across there. One-time shot. Russell makes the big pad save. Follow-up chance. Russell again. Shuts him down twice. 2 big saves on Reed Anderson. 5.5 to go here. Colin Burke into the corner. Battling there with Kirkwood. It comes out to the Gamecocks. Joe Collega, he bounces this one up off the glass. Taken there by Cam Mecca. Kind of spun himself off the puck here. Mecca looking for the hat trick. And now it bounces back in for Avery Pruden. Pruden behind the goal at the goal line. Spins off his man Michael Kenny there. And sent on across for Owen Thomas. Not too much of a stretch there for Thomas. Another Gamecock with a pair of goals tonight, wearing number 27. Puck swiveled back in now for Trip Russell behind the goal. Pruden for Thomas, the one-touch pass. On sides, Colin Burke brings this one through and just sends that one long. A bit of an awkward save made there by Nemekis. Kind of stood up and just let it hit him in the knee. Gamecocks touch up on the delayed offsides. They'll send this one back in. Another breakout here for Wake Forest. The tempo here really night and day when you compare it to Virginia Tech, especially in the last few minutes of that hockey game. It was end-to-end action, especially in the last few minutes of the third period and overtime. And now this one brought in by Owen Thomas down the left side, pulls up, sends it across for Egan in the slot, takes it to the backhand shot, save made there, and he's lost his net, has the goaltender Nemekis. But Ronan Egan getting an extra tap at the puck afterwards. That'll draw a crowd. Though most of the crowd wearing the black and white stripes of the officiating crew. So another face-off here. And I've got you sitting right here. So, Julian, what have you seen here in your brief stint up here in the press box instead of being down there on the ice?
Definitely can't put me on the spot like that. But definitely different tempo from last night. Wake Forest obviously has a short bench, but we're not doing our job breaking out of the zone, forwards and D. So got to clean that up before the next weekend.
Ben, what about you? You've been up here for the entire game with me. You've been quiet the whole night. Ben, what are you seeing up here?
Seen a lot of good things. We got really deep forwards. Having Joey Legs and Peter step up this weekend when we had a few guys couldn't make the trip has been huge. Great forwards. I mean, we got a couple tougher opponents coming up next week, Georgia Tech, but the boys look ready. Virginia Tech was a tough test, but look bounced back strong today.
Thank you, gentlemen. Neutral zone faceoff forthcoming after the delayed offsides here. Nick Peters steps in to take another faceoff here. He's got the A on his sweater now. Puck rolling all the way back down. Dan Herdich in behind the Wake Forest net. Inside 4 to go. Ryan McGowan tries to line up Herdich. He got sidestepped there. The McGowan Express rolls back on towards center ice. And now back on. Luke Rudman into Wake Forest territory in behind the net. Rudman teams up with Peters. Has the puck on his backhand. Dishes this one out to the boards. Stepping in now is Evan Hoey. He'll try to get around Reed Anderson. And now Peters sends this one into the slot, looking for an open patch of ice. He won't find it. It drifts all the way back out past Ryan McGowan, stopped by goaltender Russell. He'll drop that off for Ryan McGowan. All the way out to the far side. And Rudman comes over to pick this one up for the Gamecocks. 3-on-1. Or 1-on-3, rather. Rudman being the one. He got stood up, but the puck sent back down thanks to reinforcements. A centering pass there intended for McGowan. Kept in at the line as it popped up into the air. Now taken by Rudman back down low below the goal line. Hickman watches from the blue stripe. Kicks it down from his skates to his stick. And it's taken out here by Jack McGowan. McGowan, the right-handed shot down the left wing, poked away by his counterpart Ryan for South Carolina. One of the handful of times we've only seen these guys on the ice together. And a collision in behind the play. A couple of Wake Forest players come together. Jacob Grossman, slow to get up in behind the play. Trip Russell makes a save. Evan Smith and Ryan Smedley, as we have a play, stoppage in play here rather. Evan Smith and Ryan Smedley, two players that Wake Forest would have had at their disposal had they not been hurt last night in a 5-1 loss to NC State. So the short bench has gotten shorter here for the Deacons. Offensive zone draw here. Corey Hawkinson steps in. And now he'll win that one sideways for Rob Lawrence. Lawrence down from the goal line as this puck taken away by Reed Anderson. Out to the far side here. Noah Maddie going to supply a little bit of pressure. Kicked that there as one of the Deacons lost his stick, but Maddie waves at it. Now it's picked up by Rob Lawrence. Gamecocks come back 3 men strong. That pass intended for Corey Hawkinson. He'll just kind of swipe at that when it goes off the outside of the net. Picked up here by the Deacons. Escorted back out to Duncan Hickman. Played across to Tyler Oakley and fired back in. The skipping puck sent wide. Rimmed all the way back around in the Wake Forest zone. Inside 2 minutes to play here. Gamecocks still on top 6-1. Goes back here for Tyler Oakley. D-to-D Duncan Hickman, the defensive pairing that's seen the brunt of the minutes here for South Carolina. And now Hawkinson down the left side, tries to pull it to the forehand. Open net, Maddie scores! Diving out to play that puck was Nemekis, leaving a yawning cage for Noah Maddie. His first goal on a goaltender with the Gamecocks. Second of the season, second in 2 games. And the Gamecocks lead it 7-1. That'll give Corey Hawkinson assist number 8 on the year. And one of the officials, apparently a fan favorite here in Winston-Salem, at least for these Wake Forest fans. Hawkinson gets the lone assist on that one, and yep, they've stopped putting up goals on the scoreboard. It's 7-1, the scoreboard still says 5. So as we approach the final minute in this one, a puck out of play. If you missed any of this game, well, you're about to get everything that happened. Tyler Oakley kicked off the scoring in the first period for South Carolina with a power play goal. Luke Rudman would tally his 9th of the year, make it 2-0 after the first. In the second period, Kenny would wager an even strength goal for Wake Forest, but Owen Thomas would counter with 2 of his own. So 4-1 the score after 40 minutes of play. And here in this third period, Cam Mecca adds a pair, and Noah Maddie just now cashes in his second goal in a Gamecock sweater to make it 7-1 South Carolina. And barring a 6-goal rush here from Wake Forest at the end of the period, the Gamecocks should improve to 11-1-1 on the season. The best start in recent memory here for this club, perhaps in program history. We'll do a little more digging on that one. But 30 seconds to play here as Joe Collega waves at that one. Michael Peak plays that one down from his hand to his stick. Now a centering pass intended for Matt Owen. Waved back out to the skates of Colin Burke. On and across for Avery Pruden. Now a shot kicked out there. The rebound sitting right in front of the crease. Owen going to battle for it there. It's rejected and sent back out across the blue line to neutral territory for Avery Pruden. He'll skate this one back in. 10 seconds to go. And that will just about be that. One last centering pass. Time expires. 60 minutes in the books. The Gamecocks come in to Winston-Salem and get an important 2 points. Final score, South Carolina 7, Wake Forest 1. They don't get both wins. They tied Virginia Tech, but still a successful road trip against 2 Division II opponents. The only D2 opponents the Gamecocks will face in this campaign. So as we spoke a little bit before the intermission, looking forward, the Gamecocks will have a week of rest and classes and whatever else they do during the week, and then it's back to work on the road in Georgia on November the 22nd. That is a Friday. And then they will have Saturday the 23rd against Georgia Tech. 2 big games. The Gamecocks are going to really have to put all their mental strength and physical strength together to try and get 2 victories on the road in Georgia. And then it is Thanksgiving break, and the players come back for finals week, and then Christmas break. So no games played after Thanksgiving break. That would just be a little too much for the guys to handle. So we'll have to wait. Student athletes there, yes indeed. That'll just about wrap things up here from Winston-Salem. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the final score, 7-1 South Carolina. You've been listening to the Capital City Sports Network. My name is Dillon Clark. Good night, Carolina, and forever to thee.